bankruptcies part of the path forward for retail?
Well, you have to say that retailers that were doing poorly going into this crisis are highly unlikely to come out in any better shape than they were going in. In fact, there's a host of them that may not even make it out of this crisis. If their business strategies weren't successful several months ago, what is it that they can do to improve their outlook? And of course, retailers with problematic debt are in a tremendous form of distress just because of the crisis that being shut down poses. And the third issue, which everyone faces, is the enormous risk attendant with no one being able to predict when the economy will open up, to what degree it'll open up,
right,
where it'll open up, and of course, how will customers respond to stores being reopened?
Right.
Will they show up? Will they have any money to spend? All unknowns.
Absolutely. I guess, what's interesting right now about the bankruptcy question is, I mean, they can't have liquidation sales right now. So as Courtney and others have reported, a lot of these companies, even those on the brink, are waiting for the economy to reopen just so they can liquidate. So then you might have a rush where everyone wants to be the first one to do so. And if not, maybe, that sale doesn't go as well and there's less left over for the stakeholders. If bankruptcy is not a real option, or if there's companies who are obviously looking for other paths, what other paths are there? Are there distressed debt funds? Could there be a major retail buyer who consolidates a lot of this? I mean, is there any other path forward that you see?
Well, I don't think anything stops a company from filing or being forced to file inside of this crisis. It's impossible to proceed through going out of business sales and inventory liquidation because stores are closed. At the end of it all, we're going to see tremendous breakage. And I suspect the rumors that swirl about retailers like JCPenney and Neiman Marcus are going to come true. My sense is there's a lot of negotiation going on with creditors with which to take into a bankruptcy court that will take into account that the process can't continue in the normal course. But when a company files bankruptcy, it stops the clock on its liabilities, at least for some period of time. And so I suspect, there are companies that just can't afford to wait this out. And they also can't put their finger on a point on the calendar when any form of normalcy is going to be upon us.
I wonder, too, we talk a lot about the same sort of fragile candidates, but is there anybody else outside the mainstream, so to speak, that you think is in danger of not surviving this?
There are tens of thousands of small and medium-sized retailers throughout the United States that are closed, that are facing an existential liquidity crisis. Almost no one has the kind of cash on hand that enables them to continue to pay their rent, continue to pay or cover their fixed costs, even after they've laid off their staff. They are in danger of being unable to pay for merchandise that they'll need once the pandemic abates. And so the specter of disruption from a financial and an operational point of view is massive. And again, as I said a moment ago, it's the uncertainty about when that has virtually everybody hanging on fingertips.